Hi there, Trina. Lovely to see you here at Embedded World 2023. We're here at the Imagination stand looking at some of the fantastic graphics capabilities that are coming out of the IP you develop. Tell us a little bit more about the GPU IP that you offer your customers and where it is that they're using it.
Yeah, hi, nice to see you again. So on the booth today we're showing quite a wide range of GPU solutions that we have. So a focus area for the GPU is mobile, consumer, and mostly what we're showing here is automotive, and looking at where our GPUs help to bring this kind of like interactive, smooth movement into all sorts of places in the automotive, whether it's from the cockpit and your driving experience to your passengers' entertainment experience. But we have a really wide range of functionality and performance points to meet a whole lot of different needs. We're all going right the way up into the data center space as well. We're seeing a lot of success and seeing the different ways that the data center needs are changing, brought on by cloud gaming and elements like that are needing GPU requirements to change so we can cover the full space and the full range of GPU needs.
So with the scalability of the GPUs, obviously you've got highest performance right down to low performance. Are your customers looking to put all of those in for graphics purposes, or are they also leveraging the capabilities of GPUs for their mathematical capabilities?
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing that combination going of, yes, definitely graphics is still probably the prime reason for using a GPU, but I think seeing those kind of AI type functionality and those compute functionality, especially as you start to move up to the higher performance in the automotive space, with the automotive space moving more to autonomy, there's more compute requirements. So people are seeing their GPU as a really flexible piece of IP that they can use to fit a variety of use cases and functionality for them.
Now, of course, in the automotive space, we're seeing a huge amount of innovation. The way the electronics in automobiles is going to appear in the next few years is completely different to anything we've seen before. So what comes out of Imagination? You've got your GPUs. We know also that you're strong in RISC-V. We talked about that last time we came to visit you. So how do those two technologies sort of come together, and how are they being deployed then by the automotive industry?
So what we've done initially with the RISC-V is we actually now have a RISC-V on our GPUs. So we have our firmware processor is RISC-V. So we're using it ourselves, and this is the first time we're bringing it into markets through the GPU. We have CPU products. Initially we've got real-time deterministic CPUs that are really useful helper cores. And as you see that being dispersed across the automotive space to meet those requirements, helper cores are really useful beings. So that's RISC-V there is a real focus. And then going forward in time, we'll continue to grow our CPU families to address a wider range of markets, but always off the back of the knowledge that we've built from GPU. We're able to very quickly apply that to our CPUs because we've been supporting automotive products for 20 plus years. So it's a good heritage to build on for our CPUs.
Now, when we talk about data centers, the first thing we think of is these enormous buildings, a humming noise in the background, and an enormous amount of compute. If we go to somebody like Amazon Web Services or Azure, we can obviously rent that computing power, but obviously one of the other things they're also offering in larger quantities are GPUs, your servers of GPUs.
Yeah.
So what's the data center community and those customers looking for from you in order to sort of offer new services to their end clients? What's going on?
Yeah, so they're looking at how a different way of doing it, because they've got kind of like a footprint of power and space that they can use, is how do they offer the variety? And as we see cloud gaming really taking some traction, growing over the next few years, is how do they do that in an efficient way, and how do they do that in a way that they can offer different services? So you've got your casual gamer who probably could use a smaller amount of GPU functionality than maybe one of your premium, real serious gamers. So with our GPUs, working with customers and how they can do that using some of the similar technologies we've used in automotive into the data center, so that they can scale with the needs and scale and give flexibility. So that means their services can be more cost effective and easier to implement.
Super. Well, thank you ever so much for the great update. It's really interesting to see what's been happening in the last 12 months since we last saw you, and we wish you a great success with the rest of the day.
Great, thank you very much for coming to talk to us. Thank you, bye-bye.
Hi Shreyas, it's lovely to see you again. We chatted last year at Embedded World. We're back at the Imagination stand at Embedded World 2023, and I hear some great news regarding RISC-V, that you're representing Imagination Technologies as part of the RISC-V International. Tell us what you are doing and what impact that has on the development of RISC-V as a technology.
Sure. Good to meet you again at Embedded World this year as well. So Imagination is committed to RISC-V. We announced our first product. We launched our first product mid of last year, and to extend our ongoing commitment to RISC-V, Imagination decided to extend our leadership role within RISC-V by going up to premium membership in the RISC-V International. So with that, I joined the board of directors of RISC-V International, and a number of my colleagues joined the various working committees within RISC-V International. And together we are trying to lead and work with the community to drive the success around RISC-V.
So what's been going on as well in Imagination in terms of RISC-V? What sort of portfolio of IP can you offer your customers?
Sure. So as you can see here, so we have our first product which we launched last year. It's available in an FPGA format. We are running it here on the FPGA. We have our own Catapult Studio, which is shown here, which is working on the RTX 2200, which is our first product. We've already licensed that product to one of our lead customers. It's a data center class device that the lead customer are making, but it's a helper core, a management core within that large SoC that this CPU is getting used to. The next on our product roadmap, we are working towards delivering automotive class, ASIL-D class functional safe cores in the latter part of this year, and we'll be announcing more later this year. Next year, we'll be following that up very quickly with application cores running Linux and Android.
Okay.
Android is now a tier 1 architecture. Google has officially announced that. So lots of things are happening around RISC-V. Lots of things are happening at Imagination with RISC-V. So yeah, lots to hear about.
Now there's a lot of innovation currently going on in automotive. We're talking about software-defined vehicles. For that, we're going to need some really impressive computing performance. What are you seeing happening in the automotive space and the requirements for processing and also GPUs?
Yeah. So in the automotive space, as you rightly said, the needs of the automotive use cases are increasing from a compute point of view. So we have our GPU portfolio that is enabling those use cases from an ADAS to AV kind of range from level 2 to level 5. We are bringing, from a CPU point of view, we are bringing safety island sort of little CPUs initially, and as the ecosystem develops, as more adoption of RISC-V happens, we'll be bringing out high-end application cores in this space as well. So all of that is happening around both RISC-V CPUs and our GPUs.
Now, when a team comes to you and want to make use of this IP to develop their own processors and system on chips, I mean, how deep does the relationship go between you and their team? Is it sort of providing and supporting the IP, or can you really help with integration and full development of a chip?
Yeah, so we've been in the IP business for almost 3 decades now, and we understand this whole process of engaging with a customer on an IP level. So we start very early with potential sort of lead partners. We work with them to define the kind of products that they would need for the next generation devices. So that's an early ideation, validating the requirements for the product. Then as we deliver the product to the customer in an IP format, we deliver it with reference design flows, reference software, reference implementations. And we really, we work with the customer through to their tape out, and then beyond tape out, when they get the chip back, working on porting software, ensuring that the chip is working, and then ultimately delivering that chip to their end customer. So the IP business model is a win-win type of partnership model for us, because we are a license and royalty based model. We rely on our customers getting successful, and we are literally with them through the whole journey.
That's great. Well, thanks ever so much for the update here. It's great to hear that you're so committed and involved in RISC-V. It's a really exciting project and something we're seeing a lot of development of, and we look forward to seeing what comes next.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for the talk today. Thank you.